Good evening all. Welcome to UPSC Simplified series. In today's daily answer writing, we are going to discuss a very interesting question from economics, okay, paper 3, right? How has the emphasis on certain crops brought about changes in cropping pattern in recent past, right? So, if you consider this question is related to the agriculture portion of syllabus, right? It is from agriculture portion. It is also discussing about the cropping pattern. So first part of our question is about the cropping pattern. There is a shift in cropping pattern. There is a change in cropping pattern, right? So why that change has been there? Okay, we have to answer this why question here, right? Second part of the question, elaborate the emphasis on millets production and its consumption, right? So when we divide our question here, we have to let's say divide our question in three parts, right? Question focuses on changes in cropping pattern, right? There are changes in cropping pattern and why these changes are observed in India, why cropping pattern has been changed in recent past, right? So we have to give some reasons. For example, 1, 2, 3, whatever reasons there, we have to give these reasons. After that, they are discussing about millets, right? There is a special emphasis on production of millet, popularizing the millets. This year we are celebrating International Year of Millet, right? So that can be a context for our answer as well, right? So when we consider the body of question, body should be divided into two parts. First part should focus on whatever the cropping pattern that we observed today, reasons behind that cropping pattern, why we are, let's say, accepted such type of cropping pattern, why the millets are not in this particular cropping pattern, and why we are promoting the millets in the production in future, right? So that will form the second part of our question. Okay, so body is divided into two parts. First part discuss about cropping pattern, second part will discuss about millets. When we consider introduction of our question, right, try to bring some context, present context in the introduction. For example, 2023 is being celebrated as an International Year of Millet, thus highlighting the importance of millet. And under that context, we are discussing why we are not producing sufficient amount of millets, right? And what are the importance of millets? Okay, so introduction will focus on this mentioning of International Year of Millets, right? When we come towards conclusion part, okay, conclusion part will focus on importance of millets in overall economic development. Okay, so this question is from paper 3 economic development paper. So we have to write the importance of millets in context of economy, in context of economic development, in context of, let's say, money, right? So this will form a general framework of our question. So when we move towards, let's say, our question, right, how has the emphasis, this is the first part, this is the second part, right? So we go towards the introduction. So how to introduce? Locus and focus. Locus of this particular question is cropping pattern, while focus is about millet production. Why millet production is desirable in the present context, right? So that will form the focus of our question. When we consider the introduction, try to bring some context here. 2023 is being celebrated as International Year of Millet, thus highlighting it is important, but why it is necessary? Why we are highlighting the millets this particular year, right? This will help to identify, diversify, as well as most important part, right? Marketing of the millets. We are marketing millets to the consumer. We are marketing millets to the society, right? Try to introduce them in your diet. They are very useful from health point of view, from climate point of view, etc., etc. Okay, because of that we are celebrating this particular year, right? So this will form the context of our question. Also, introduction of our question. So we are highlighting the importance of millets here. When we come towards body mein first part was certain crops and cropping pattern changes. We have observed these changes. Okay, so why we are not included? Let's say this millets in our cropping pattern in recent past. Why they are out of this cropping pattern? Okay, so first point is increased cash crop production, right? For example, shift towards lucrative cash crops such as sugarcane, cotton, tobacco. Okay, so here we can decode it from point of view of rupees, or we can decode it from point of view of farmer's income, right? Farmer is getting more income from production of sugarcane, okay, because there exists a FRP policy, right? Fair and remunerative prices policy, right? After that, cotton is fetching a very good price, tobacco is fetching very good price. So farmers are preferring these cash crops over millets, and because of the money involved in such type of crop production, they are shifting towards sugarcane, they are shifting towards let's say another crop, banana, right? So this money angle or this profit angle or this farmer income angle is also pressurizing the changes in cropping pattern, right? They are influencing the cropping pattern as well. But because of cash crop production, because of monocropping, it also strains natural resources due to resource intensive nature, right? They require more amount of, let's say, water, they require more amount of fertilizers as well. So even though we are taking the sugarcane production, it is not beneficial, it is not sustainable, right? Not beneficial from point of view of sustainability. So in long term, it will not be a sustainable approach. Okay, so here we are highlighting why we are moving towards sugarcane. Plus, it is not desirable, it is not sustainable in long term, right? So this will form our, let's say, first point, major first point of our body. When we come to our second point, why there is a shift in cropping pattern, decline in traditional crops. Traditional crops like millets, pulses, oilseeds are on decline, and this is a decline the income level of farmer. They are not getting sufficient amount of money to sustain their lifestyle. They are not getting sufficient amount of profit from that particular agricultural commodity, and because of that they are shifting towards cash crops. So there is a trend of declining, there is a trend in declining the traditional cropping, and there is also a trend in increase in cash cropping, right? So we can write these two major points here. Also, when we move away from the traditional crops, it also raises some question. It also gives some problems as well. For example, neglect of nutritionally vital crops due to resource demand of cash crops, right? So whatever these traditional crops are, they are very much needed in our diet. They are nutritionally vital. They provide us with fibers, minerals, let's say proteins. But we are shifting towards sugarcane. Sugarcane will only provide the glucose, but our body is not solely dependent upon glucose, right? Try to understand from health perspective here, right? Then third point, increase in irrigated agriculture. So irrigation facilities are increasing day by day in India, and this available irrigated facilities are also favoring the cash crops. Okay, stick to me with here. Emphasis on specific crops led to more irrigated farming, particularly in water scarce areas due to water and nutrient needs, right? So there is increase in irrigated area, there is increase in water availability, and this also pushes changes in the cropping pattern, right? If water is sufficiently available to the farmer, right? Water is sufficiently available for let's say throughout year for the farming. He will blindly shift on sugarcane because sugarcane provides FRP. Okay, there is no issue of let's say marketing here. There is no issue of income loss here. From day one, he knows how much I will get at the end of this year, at the end of this farming year. Okay, so traditional crops, when you consider the traditional crops are not let's say give a particular amount of income to the farmer, right? Their price react towards demand and supply, whatever present in the market, and on the basis of this demand and supply the market on the basis of this demand and supply the market price is determined. Okay, and when we go through year on year, this price is not profitable to the farmer, and because of that, if farmer get irrigated facilities, he will blindly shift on sugarcane, right? So this is also a major aspect that influences changes in cropping pattern. Okay, but second part of question, why we are emphasizing millet production in this particular, let's say, year or from this year onwards? Why we are focusing on millet production? Why millets are necessary for our survival, for our subsistence, for our sustainability? Okay, so second part of question, first thing is sustainability. Millets gain attention for their sustainability because they are drought tolerant, okay, adaptable to diverse soils, contributing to water and soil conservation. Okay, these are tolerant species. We can say that generally millets are grown in rain-fed areas, right, or water scarce areas. They don't require much amount of water. They don't require water when we compare towards when we compared with sugarcane. Okay, so water requirement is very less, and millets are grown in water scarce areas, rain-fed areas. Okay, because of that, because of their biological let's say aspects, these are drought tolerant crops. Okay, and Indian agriculture is considered as gamble of monsoon, right? In era of climate change, in era of let's say shifting climatic patterns, right? We don't know when the rains are going to come, when they are going to stop, right? So there exists this problem with climate. So in such type of let's say climatic issues, millets provide farmer with some kind of assurity, right? That assurity is, even though there are no rains, don't worry, millets will grow and they will fetch some income. Okay, so sustainability is there in case of millets. Second part, they are nutritious as well. Okay, millets are recognized for their nutritional richness. They are rich in proteins, they are rich in fibers, essential minerals, enhancing food security as well as nutrition, which is more necessary right now. Okay, third point, why millet production is necessary? Most important, they are climate resilient. Millets stand out for climate resilience, valuable in adapting to climate change efforts. All right, so this climate resilience point is what making millets more attractive in present context. Okay, so because of this let's say 3 points, we are emphasizing more on millet production. Also, government of India is promoting the millet production in India. For example, we have launched a program named Millet Mission 2025. Okay, in this program, we are aiming to expand millet cultivation by 5 million hectares till 2025. Right? Second program is subsidies for millet farmer, financial incentives to encourage millet farming. So this such type of program also emphasizes the importance of millets in present context. Okay, so when we come towards conclusion part of our question, simple conclusion, in summary, the focus on millets in 2023 signifies a positive trend towards improved food security, sustainability, nutrition in India. But there are also some challenges. Okay, we have to mention that challenges like awareness, integrate millets into mainstream agriculture. Okay, we have to solve these challenges as well. I guess you have understood the question. On this good note, we'll stop here. Thank you.